Welcome back to My Block Jags. I am Denero Scurry. And now that we have the new head coach in Urban Meyer, now he's filling out his coaching staff. He's filling out the GM's positions. This is something new, something, maybe it might be a new trend, but it's something that I noticed that we hired our head coach in Urban Meyer first, and then we start filling out the other position coordinators and all these other, filling all these other positional coaches before we hired a GM. And then we hired our GM. I thought that was kind of weird. Maybe that's something with Shot Khan. Maybe he's believing in Urban. He's giving Urban more leeway with hiring the coaching staff and hiring front office and stuff like that. But we went head coach, position coaches. Then we went GM. And normally the GM is picked first and then the head coach. The GM normally gets his choice of head coach. But this time, Jacksonville, we did a little different. I'm not sure if any other organizations, any other teams done this, but that's something that I noticed. But since I brought up the GM, let's go in with him. We hired Trent Baalke. Trent Baalke used to be the GM of the 49ers back when they had Cap and they had Frank Gore, and they had that great defense, and he was the GM then. He built that team with Harbaugh that took him to the Super Bowl. That was his doing. That's who we hired as the GM. I don't know what he was doing before he got to Jacksonville. I know I was trying to look it up. There was like a big gap there, but he was assistant GM here under Dave Caldwell. So now he's kind of familiar with Shad Khan and familiar with the Jaguars. So he's our new GM that they just kept around, and it was like, well, we're just gonna flip you from assistant to the main GM. So I'm a little. I don't really know how I feel about that because he sat around and watched Caldwell make all these horrible decisions. Because he was able to watch it. So I'm not really sure if that's a good thing or not. Maybe that's why he was hired so late in the process of everyone else. But I'm happy to see fresh blood, new, you know what I'm saying, new personnel, new ideas, new people coming in. But I'm not really sure since he was assistant under Caldwell. Dave Caldwell, since he was assistant under him, I'm not really sure about that. But with Trent Baalke, he's brought in Tom Gable. I think I said his name, Gable. He was an assistant of Baalke when he was in San Fran. He was a player personnel. So he was the one, I'm guessing, running the show with the GM. I mean, you got the GM, you got the player personnel. I'm not really sure how that lines up on a totem pole. I know GM's first, player personnel. They do things together. They move as, you know what I'm saying, they kind of move as one. But he was with him in San Fran, player personnel. Now he's here in Jacksonville. Not really sure if he's going to be the player personnel here or what his front office position is going to be. But he's Tom Gable's hire. That's his boy. He brought him. Then we got offensive coordinator Darren Bevel. Now these are the coordinators positions is the big thing for Jacksonville. Our offense didn't look too well outside of running the ball with Robinson. Passing game wasn't really there. I mean, we had our only good group was the receiving group on the team, and they did what they could when the ball was coming their way. So we got a new offensive coordinator. Bevel was the interim head coach in Detroit when they let go Patricia. I mean, he was the offensive coordinator, slid him right up to the interim head coach. Apparently, it was a lot of people eyeing him, trying to get him to come in, do their offensive coordinator. Urban Myers came, swooped him up. And I think that's a good move for us. I honestly think that's a good move for us. Get some fresh blood, new quarterback, whole new system, whole new scheme. And you notice how one thing about Detroit, they can throw the ball. They can't run the ball. They cannot run the ball to save their life, but they can throw the ball. And with Matthew Stafford, they were able to throw the ball downfield. They were always able to pass, and that's the one thing we've been struggling in Jacksonville is to pass the ball. So with him coming in, he's going to bring a more pass-heavy offense. That I believe he's going to bring a more pass-heavy offense, which is going to be great for a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be able to throw the ball downfield. You know what I'm saying, hit our receivers, hit Chark, hit not Conley, but hit Colin Johnson, hit Chenault. Those are the plays, and those are the that's what we're looking for when we're talking about our offense next year. I mean, especially when you're talking about with a brand new rookie quarterback. That's what we're looking. We're looking for. We're looking to see the ball get thrown past downfield. When you look at all these other teams, 31 other teams out there, you look how they pass the ball. They're able to pass the ball downfield with no problem, and that's what I want out of Jacksonville. I want us to pass the ball downfield. I don't want us to struggle in the passing game like how we had before. Our defensive coordinator, we got Joe Gullum. I might be messing up his last name, but he was the Baltimore D-line coach. So you look at Baltimore, their D-line last year. They had Judon. I think he was like their Terrell Suggs, like blitzing outside linebacker. They went and grabbed Yannick. They grabbed Calais Campbell. So their D-line in the past was really good. They had a really good D-line. This year the D-line probably was so-so, but that's where he's coming from. I mean, Baltimore is known for their defense. And he's coming from successful defense, and he's working his way up. Now he's going to be our D-line coach. Or, I'm sorry, defensive coordinator. He's going to be our defensive coordinator. So, anything better than Wash. Point blank period. I know a lot of people, everybody in the city, they seen what Wash was doing. We're tired of Wash. I mean, point blank period. I can't even come up with words. We're just tired of Wash. Anything but Wash. I think he was horrible. Players spoke out against him. Everyone did not like what Wash was doing as far as with our defense, and it was very obvious on the field. So even though Buddy was a D-line coach in Baltimore, I give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he probably worked his way up. He probably knows something. This is time. This is time to be a defensive coordinator. We definitely gonna put him out there and see what he can do for our defense. Because again, if you look at our defense last year, secondary was horrible. Every position on defense was bad last year. So we need fresh blood. We need new coaching. We need new coaching staff, man. Wash was here, I think, since 2012, 2013, something like that. Way too long to be in Jacksonville with that horrible defense that we had. And with him, he brought his buddy Sterling Lucas. He was the D-line coach. I think he's going to be our D-line coach. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sterling Lucas, I think he's going to be our D-line coach. And he was the Ravens' defensive assistant. So we got two Raven coaches on our staff. We got their old D-line coach who's going to be our defensive coordinator. And then we have their defensive assistant is going to be our D-line coach. So, again, if you look at Ravens in the past, I don't know how long these guys were with Baltimore, but if you look at Ravens in the past, they were always known for their defense. Terrell Suggs, I was about to mess up the Hawaiian guy, Noe Gata, I think something like that. Ray Lewis. You had all these good D linemen that came. I can't even think of all the other ones, but they always had a good D line, always had good linebackers, always had good secondary. So now we're getting those guys. I don't know if they were there in the past, how long they've been there, but we getting people who comes from a organization that was winning. We're getting people that came from a winning system as far as from the defense. Now they're coming to Jacksonville. And that's one thing I do like about this, about these two hires, that they're coming from an organization that was successful in their field. They were successful in defense. Now they're bringing that success to Jacksonville and trying to turn our defense around, which needs to be turned around bad. That's one thing. I mean, our defense needs to be turned around bad, ASAP. And hopefully they can bring their knowledge, everything that they know from Baltimore, that they put it into those players in that organization, put it in Jacksonville, and we thrive off what they know. Then we brought Charlie Strong in as our linebacker coach. Now, everyone knows Charlie Strong because he was defensive coordinator for Florida. Then he went to Louisville, the head coach for Louisville. I'm not sure. He was Teddy Bridgewater's coach. I don't think he was Lamar Jackson's head coach. He wasn't Lamar Jackson head coach. But he was Teddy Bridgewater head coach. Then he went to Texas with the head coach in Texas. The stage was too big for him in Texas. They let him go after 2 years. Then he went down to USF. First year at USF, he took him to the bowl game, and then they kind of fell off after that. But he worked under Urban Meyer in Florida, and they connected right back. And now he's on the staff for Urban Meyer. He's going to be a linebacker coach. One thing about Charlie Strong, when he was a defensive coordinator for Florida and when he was the head coach for Louisville, Charlie Strong knew how to coach that defense. Our defense was on point at Florida. I'm a Florida fan. Our defense was on point We had Charlie Strong as our defensive coordinator, and he turned Louisville to something to what I don't ever remember Louisville ever being spoke about before Charlie Strong got there. And so he turned Louisville around. He went and got Teddy Bridgewater. He's been a head coach at big universities. It's, with Texas, that's a huge university. And he's been around. You know what I'm saying? He's been to multiple colleges. He's seen different organizations as far as he's seen different colleges. He's seen how they run. He's seen how they've been ran. And he's worked with Urban. So do I think that's a plus? Yes, because his success in college and as far as defense. Now NFL, he's never coached in the NFL. So is that going to be something that's going to, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be too much for him? We don't know. That's the only thing about it that kind of threw a monkey wrench. Is like, he's never coached in the NFL. He's never coached a position in the NFL. Granted, he's not coming in as a coordinator. He's coming in as a position coach. So at least he's going to warm himself up. You know what I'm saying? He's going to warm himself up with with just his linebackers, get his feet wet, and then probably build from there. But I'm happy he's on our staff, point blank period. I'm happy he's on our staff. Then we got Brian Schneider. He's our special teams coach. He was a Seattle special teams coordinator. He was their special teams coordinator over there. Then something happened personally. He took time off, and then Urban called him up, and we snatched him. Honestly, I'm not really feeling this hire because I felt like our last special teams coach, Joe something, I felt like we should have kept him. We went through 7 kickers, and we still wasn't bad in special teams. Even though we had 7 different kickers, we still wasn't bad in special teams. So I felt like with all that going on, he still coached special teams really well. We didn't miss a lot of field goals. We did miss some, but we didn't miss a lot. It's other teams who had missed way more field goals than us with less kickers than us. But that's Urban coming in, you know what I'm saying, doing a clean swipe, bringing in his guys. Hopefully he can have the same success as our last special teams coach. But I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. But I honestly thought with Lambeau being out and all these other people that we either got hurt or they missed the extra point, we went through all these kickers. I thought the last guy, Joe, whatever his name was, I thought he was pretty good. And I felt like he should have stayed. Yeah, that's that from what I have. I'm pretty sure there's more people that we've hired, little small personnel like scouts and stuff like that. I didn't see none when I was doing a search. I didn't really see none. I haven't heard nothing about Keenan McCardell. I know that's a fan favorite. He played here. Then he started his coaching. He was coaching the only position group on the team that played well last year as a group. Was the receivers. The receivers, I mean, with the receivers we had, a lot of them were young. And Keenan McCardell had our receiving core looking really well. And I haven't heard nothing about him. I know the guys on the radio were talking about they hope we keep him. I hope we keep him. A lot of the fan base hope we keep Keenan. I haven't heard nothing about him. If y'all heard something about him, please let me know in the comments. But that's one player. That's one coach that that's the only coach really. Him and the special teams coach was the only coaches that I really felt like should have stayed in Jacksonville. The whole swipe, you know what I'm saying, swipe through, the clean slate, everything. I felt like we should have kept Keenan and our special teams coordinator, but we don't know. I mean, I don't think Urban's done with the hiring. I'm not really sure, but we don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who's y'all's favorite hire. Like I said, to me personally, our offensive coordinator, the guy that was the head coach, the interim head coach for Detroit, Darrell Bevell. I think that's like that's the biggest move right there for us because we have to change our offense from what we was last year with Minshew and Glennon and the other guy, I can't even remember his name, the 6th round pick guy. We had to change our offense if we're going to bring in a new quarterback. If we're going to have a new head coach, we can't be doing this nickel and diamond, short pass stuff, inconsistent passing stuff. We have to spread the field. We have to look more like the NFL of today. I mean, not this 2002 NFL football that we keep trying to play here in Jacksonville, man. That shit's played out. It's old school. We need to let that go, man. We need to evolve into what the game is now. I mean, when you see Baltimore, not Baltimore, when you see Pittsburgh, when you see especially Kansas City, when you see all these other teams, how they throw the ball downfield, then you look at Jacksonville, we're still just run, and then let's dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. We can't really get the ball downfield like how these other teams. So I think that's the biggest hire for the Jaguars this offseason. You guys let me know. Let me know if I missed anything as far as any coordinators. I was trying to do my Googles and see, but this is all most of what I got. So you guys let me know in the comment section. That's that for this video.